Good morning there, YouTube. Back at you with another video today. Today's video is going to be a review on this saw, which is the NeoTec NCS 2500. It is a top handle saw, 25cc, with a 12-inch bar. If you're seeing this video for the first time, this saw was actually a giveaway, and that giveaway has probably ended in a previous video. So somebody has already won this saw that is going to be selected. But no, I did use this on a couple jobs just to try it out, and what I liked about it and what I didn't like about it. This is my honest review of this saw. It's not an endorsement, it's not a paid, video from the manufacturer. A few things that I liked about this saw in general is going to be, number one is the price point. If you're wanting a budget friendly top handle, or if you're trying to start a tree service, this is all you got to work with, this is not a bad saw to start with, especially for the price. I want to say, I might put this in the video, Amazon may have them for about 150. Now this is a Chinese version chainsaw, so it is cheaper to make them. I would say on that note, because it's cheaper to make them doesn't really necessarily mean they're just a cheap saw. Okay. Overall build quality, I'd give it an 8.5. There's a few little things that I personally, for the price point, you can't really beat this this saw. I'm gonna start off with the 25cc, which is pretty much equivalent to an Echo 2500. It's a smaller chainsaw. I want to say maybe the Steel 194 is in that same category. I'm not really too sure. I'll have to look it up. But for its power, it is strong enough to pull the 12-inch bar. The 12-inch bar is, I believe, a 3/8, and I'm going to double check in the subscription. If not, I'll put it on the screen. For this length, I wouldn't really recommend going any larger. I felt like the saw bogs down if it were to have a bigger bar, like say 14 or 16 inch. The bar and chain is actually pretty decent quality. There's probably some aftermarket manufacturers like the Oregon Speed Cut Nano. You could probably put that on there. I have seen people put regular steel bars and chains on these, as long as your sprocket is the right size. Brake, pretty easy function. It's not too hard. It does come disassembled in the box, so you will have to put it together, and that's just putting the chain cover and the bar on it. Some features on it: it does have a primer bulb on it. It does have a on-off switch, so you have to make sure you turn it on to be able to crank it. This does have a standard carb, so it's got the standard choke plug. I'm not a really big fan of these types of chokes, just because to me, if you're not careful, it could break, and then you're gonna have to sit there and try to find a replacement for it. So one thing is, just be careful with the choke lever. Okay, it is plastic. It's one thing that I can see. It does come with a hook for your carabiner. However, and I want to see if you can see it in this, it is kind of small. Okay, I felt like the bigger beaners, trying to hook them into it, it was a little tougher, in my opinion. I wish they had done something a little different. Access for your air filter, which is screw-on type, which is not bad. let's see here. Access your air filter screen. So easy peasy. Your spark plug is going to be at the bottom if you can see it. So spark plug, air filter, choke. It does have a metal rod in it. It does, yeah. So yeah. Let me put this back on. The plastics are pretty decent build quality. Overall weight is not terribly heavy. I'll look and see what the weight is, and I'll put it on the screen. You do have, of course, these are the screws for the motor mounts, but oiler screw sits in there, so you can adjust it. That's a good thing to have. I think I have this maxed out. Kind of like the Echo, both the fills for the gas and oil are up front, so you need to make sure that you're putting the right one in the right hole. So oil on the bottom, gas on the top. One thing I did notice is when refueling, let me see if I can do it. One thing I did notice is when refilling is the cap can be somewhat difficult to get lined up with the threads. So just super be careful with it. I'm already having some trouble trying to get it. This is one thing I didn't like of it. Trying to refill this in a tree will be kind of difficult, but the cap's got a little catch on it, so it's not going to come out as long as you have it installed right. Yeah, so the caps can be difficult. The 25cc motor has power to cut, you know, pretty good sized limbs. 8 inches, you know, pretty decent. Getting into 10, 12 is kind of bogging this hull down a little bit, so you're not going to want to cut really big wood with this. Starting it's pretty simple. Just press the primer bulb several times. Make sure the switch is on, pull your choke, and just give her So she takes a little bit of time just to warm up like any other saw. And I will say one thing I do like about it is this exhaust. They have it kind of ported wide open, so it's kind of got a little loud, you know, like just hopped up sound compared to an Echo. One thing I've noticed too is it doesn't really, I guess the handle has a little bit of vibration in it as far as like from the motor, you know, standpoint for comfort, but it does vibrate a little bit more than some of your bigger saws, or as far as it does vibrate a little bit more compared to like a Steel or an Echo that's got like a handle that's got some shock absorbers in it. So you will notice that in it. Chain tightener is going to be right there on the side. I'm kind of glad it is on easy access instead of like a Husqvarna where, you know, some of them are in the front of the bar, which can be difficult. The bar nuts are not lockable, so one thing is you need to be careful when you're, you know, out in the field, you don't want to lose one of them or both of them. Then you're kind of, you know. One thing I do notice about this saw is once you get it warmed up, it does take a minute to get the chain to spool up, especially in, like, you know, full RPMs. I feel like it's a little sluggish, and I don't know if it's the clutch or the clutch design. So if you get one, and you start seeing that, it could be the adjustment in the brake too. I'm not really sure, but just you'll probably have to mess with it a little bit. Now this saw, and I'm not saying all of these saws, but I had to do some adjustment on the carb. I had to get the carb adjusted to be able to get the idle up a little bit. When I first got it out of the box, it constantly wanted to die, and I felt like the idle was a little bit too low. So I did a little bit of adjustment, and she hums pretty well. Got a little safety switch up here just for the trigger. I don't know if y'all can see that, but you got to press that to pull that. Just a little safety feature. Of course, you always want to have your brake on. But no, for a decent starter saw, I honestly, you know, if you're just kind of have to watch the dollars overall, I would suggest this one, especially if you're, like, you know, trying to start a tree service, or you just wanted something, you know, small to put in a four-wheeler or a tractor, and just didn't want to spend a whole lot of money. So I've done like 2 or 3 jobs with this, and I have not sharpened it, and I mean, they are still razor sharp as far as the chain. It does have one set of small dogs on there, and they are actually pretty decent. If you wanted to, you could take it off. I would probably do this if I owned the saw, and just kind of take a grinder and just kind of get them more of a point. That way I can dig a little bit on it. They are kind of dull, but they are pretty prominent for a top handle saw. So some little modifications I would do to it. The only things I really didn't care about was I hate the on and off button type things, because I kind of like it where it would, like, I wish they had the button where, like, you could just press it and stop it, and then it automatically goes back into the on position, kind of like some of the steel switches. You know, you just press it and it turns off. But that would be one thing I would change, is the on and off button. I'm not a big fan of this carb lever. Just to me, even this is closed and this is open, but even closed, I feel like something could catch on it and would break off, and then it's just to be a pain in the butt to deal with. So that's just one thing to look at. Not a big fan of the small little carabiner hook, you know, especially if you want to put it on your harness. I wish they would have made it a little bit bigger, but like I said, another thing that I just personally don't like I was saying, is the fuel cap and oil caps that can be hard to get back on. I wish they would just design them a little bit more better. That's just my opinion. I do like it has the adjustment for the oiler. I do like having the chain tensioner on the side. Not a big fan of the bar nuts not being captive. That's just my personal opinion. Some people that may not mind it, but my honest opinion, overall I would recommend this as a good starter saw for somebody who needed one and didn't have a lot to work with. So that is my little 2 cents. But yeah, but like I said earlier in the video, this saw was a giveaway saw in one of the earlier videos. So lucky subscriber will be getting this, and if not, I've already announced the winner and done the contest. If you do like me doing the review videos of some of the stuff that I do, you know, leave me a little comment. You know, I'm one of those people, like, I'd rather see it get people's opinion on it, you know, before I buy it. And it's kind of one of those things where I looked at other videos similar to it just to see how it would work. So that's why I'm doing these videos, just to help you as a viewer if you're interested in getting one of these. You can purchase these on Amazon. They're very inexpensive to get into. And I'll leave a link in the description, you know, just for those that are interested in it. But yeah, if you guys got any questions about it, feel free to put it in the comments. Appreciate y'all watching, and we'll see you on the next one.